In our first reading today, we have one of the many, many stories of a pattern that happens all through the time of the Jews in the desert. Namely, God does something extraordinary. They get used to how extraordinary God is, and they complain. And then a disaster befalls them, and they run back to their Heavenly Father and say, "Help." And God helps. This particular one is very unique. You, of course, hopefully remember that part of the problem in the desert is finding food. And so God sent them manna from the heavens, bread from the heavens, and quail. And they're tired of it. They're tired of the miracle. And so they start complaining. We're sick of eating the same thing every day. And this time it's serpents, meaning fiery snakes, invade the camp and start biting people. And as they're bitten, they die from the poison. And so, of course, they run to God. And God tells Moses what to do. I want you to take bronze and to hammer out an image of the serpents that are biting you. And you're going to put it on a pole, and you're going to lift it high. And anyone who's bitten by that snake can look up at that pole and be healed. And that's what happened. What you and I know, what Moses could not have known, what God knew well, was he was giving us a sort of prophecy about what was going to happen more than 1,500 years later. Namely, God, knowing that the poison that hurts us is our human nature, the distorted human nature inside of us, he took that human nature onto himself. And he took it to the cross. And Jesus was lifted high on the cross. And as he flat out tells Nicodemus, when people look at me, lifted high, I will heal them. There is a power in seeing that we forget. Because like the Jews in the desert who got sick of an extraordinary miracle, we're so used to our sight that we rarely think about it. And not only do we rarely think about it, we use our sight to hurt ourselves. Everything you and I look at enters us and changes us. Everything that we look at enters our mind, and it becomes a part of us. And we've seen horrors, haven't we? We've even made entertainment out of horrors. What we see with our eyes matters. And what Jesus wants is not us watching things over and over, locking our eyes on the news or on the latest atrocity. Because you know what happens? We get distressed, we get anxious, we get fearful, we get angry, and then we spread all of it. And it's because we're looking at the wrong things. What I'm going to invite us to do is to either kneel or stay seated, but I want us for the rest of this homily to look at the crucifix. I want us all to lock our eyes on that, okay? Hold on. I ask us to look at him and to take this into our mind. Look at how much you're loved. Look at the lengths our God has gone through to save us. We were lost. We couldn't find our way to God. And so he came and entered the human condition. This was the culmination of the human experience, that thing that's going to happen to all of us, death. And his death was an unjust death. Even as we were tearing him to pieces, he was saving us and loving us. Look at this. What comes into our mind through our eyes matters. Look at him. Every day, look at a crucifix. See how desperately you're loved? See the unspeakable violence we are capable of. And see how even in that, love won. Love triumphs. The worst evil we can manufacture, God turned into the most beautiful thing in the universe. Look at how much he loves you. There is nothing you or I will encounter. There is nothing we will take into our bodies with our eyes more important than this. The triumph of love, the conquering of death. We should be afraid of nothing except forgetting this. Forgetting the price he paid out of love. You're worth this to him. Every human you meet is worth this to him. Look at him. Please rise. I believe in one God,